With the overturning of Roe v. Wade, New Mexico is poised to receive more abortion doctors and more people seeking abortions. When does life begin, and is it acceptable for New Mexico to be the first and best place in the nation to seek an abortion? What policy will you advocate as governor following the Roe v. Wade overturn?
Right, we're very excited that Roe versus Wade was overturned, but for New Mexico, it won't do anything for us because our legislature's already headed off at the pass the last time that they went to into session. And we have full abortions here in New Mexico all the way up to birth, and they'll throw a baby in a sink and kill it and then piece it out. And it's very heartbreaking to know that this is the state that we come from, and this is what we are now as a murder capital of the Union, and it's terrible. But what we aren't talking about is we have candidates. Well, you got MLG, who wants you to have the choice to kill your child. But I come from a pro-life tribe where that's even not acceptable. We've never aborted, our tribe never aborted our ancestors at all. We always had our children no matter what. We always, no matter the circumstances, no matter what happened, it was for us, and our cognitive understanding is that God gave us a challenge in our life, even though it might have been horrific, for you to get through it and also to find love at the end of the road is basically the meaning of life. It's what happens when you don't love the sin, but you love the child. And so even when you talk about the real heinous acts that he was, Ron Ketty was trying to put that into the whole situation, but then there's also medical parts of it that the government shouldn't be a part of, and so people will do what they're going to do. That's why you have to believe that they're going to make the right choice. But for taxpayer dollars and the purposes of a government functioning system, as a governor, I don't believe that we need to be funding and actually supporting abortions at all. Life begins at conception. I've always believed that. But we've always known that when you're going through legislation, you cannot legislate morals either, because it gets really messy, and then you start to see the pushback and also the impeding of freedoms and liberties. So I'm a pro-life candidate, and for me, I can't go through legislation. If you give me a blue House and a blue Senate, we're screwed again. I can't do it. I can't do it on my own. But what I can do is I can actually use policy. I can fight it. I can fight through education to educate these young ladies that might have become pregnant and they're not ready for it, because a lot of them will say, you know what, no one ever told me that there was a different way. I was just very scared. That's the usual thing that they're talking about, is that's why they had an abortion, because no one was there to help them. And I did talk to a young lady. She did have up to 10 abortions. Now she's my age, and she regretted every one of them, and it's because it's how she was told it's okay to do it, to hide it, so that you can continue to be respectable and keep moving forward. So she had a hard time with it too. So abortion, most abortions, up to, I think it was 93.6% is what we're looking at, that most abortions happen at 13 weeks or, before. So at 15 weeks, you're already in deep, deep murder country. And so at 6%, there's no way you could be a pro-life candidate. So at being a 15-week candidate saying pro-life, that's wrong, because you can't claim 6% and still say, oh yeah, I'm pro-life, because you just lost 93% of all these babies already. So we have to be able to fight the entire war all the way back, and I think it has to start with the mother. I think we have to educate them. So in PED, you can push to education as far as you can. I want 72 hours. Right to Life says 48 hours. I want more. I want more education. You have to send them through it. If they want to get abortion here, then they have to go through these steps. They have to watch videos. They have to watch them perform it. They have to watch them piece out that child. They have to literally watch the goriness. They can't just close their eyes and go through it. They have to know. And then from there, once they understand and comprehend it, and they still want to do it, when they enter these places like Planned Parenthood and other, like UNM, even the greeter at the door, we can also push the training requirements as well as the education requirements. So I want an actual doctor to greet every patient. I want every doctor on the ground. There's no more hiring cheap staff and cheap people just to run them through because we're going to make money. No, you're going to hire best of the best, where your budget, your administrative budget, is going to go mostly to salaries, and you can't even make a lucrative penny here. It's going to be very hard to function in an abortion clinic in Bedonie's state, because we're going to drive so many requirements that it's not even worth being here, because we won't even let you open the doors. And we'll put in crazy things in there too. Like the carpet has to be cream because it calms them down. Whatever. So you're going to make them change everything just to function in a place called Bedonie, New Mexico. And I will save 98% of these babies that want to go to war for the last 2% in legislation. I think that we can do this through simple policy changes, just tweaks that we have control over as governor inside the executive branch. It's real simple. I don't see it as fighting inside the legislatures. You already made your beds. But I will ask that these laws be relabeled. Every time you say the word abortion, I want you to write the word murder in it. And that will be my request. So when you submit it, then we'll start to see it. We're going to murder these children at 15 weeks. We're going to allocate money to murder these babies. And we'll deny it because murder is against who we are as people. So the whole pro-life thing is going to be very exciting for me, because we're going to be one of the most pro-life state with the worst laws ever, because you had a woman who could outthink them and outmaneuver. And so we're here to play chess, and we're going to play hard, and we're going to win. But I have an absolute plan to it, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And that's what it's exciting, is because they always want to know, what is she going to do? Because we have plans and they're stacking up. We have binders and binders full of research and study. We know how to do this. We know exactly what's going to happen to those babies. Even the deep, dark stuff that nobody wants to talk about, we're going to put that into education. How they actually make medicines from it, how they make, what do you call it when you're addictive controlled substances, because cannibalism shows that there's actual addictive qualities to it. So then they're putting it into additives, into different foods, and those types of foods I want to outlaw as well, because you know what, if we need to consume those cheeseburgers and it has that additive in it from murdered babies, I think we should know the truth before we start giving them to our children. And we've researched and we've gone deep down, and it's scary. It's scary what they've done to our children, how they market it. Now it becomes a product. That's what leads me into the actual corporation of the United States of America. When you think about it, well, what's the product? It's human beings. We are the product and services of the United States Incorporated. Once we understand that, then you can begin to fight back, because I am nobody's product. I am no slave. I belong and I am beholden to no one except God. So that's why I'm here. Now, when we start talking about misconceptions, the media and the way people write things, they will never be able to speak the words the way I speak them. Always through hearsay. Every time it jumps through a second, third, or fourth person, it comes out wrong on the other end. I implore you to go to my videos and ask me directly. We will tell you the truth. Find me. And if you don't find me, then you don't really care enough, because you know what? We have the answers and we know exactly where we're standing. But I am a pro-life candidate 100%, because I come from a pro-life tribe, and I have had every child that I was pregnant with. And I love each and every one of them, and I believe that they had a chance at life, just like my mother gave me a chance at life. And it's funny how everyone that has a voice against children that want to abort happen to be born. So I look at them and I say, if you want abortion, I can't hear you. Because if that choice was given to your body and your existence, then I should walk right through you. Because your voice doesn't matter now. So you think about it, you were allowed to be born, so should I listen to you? Then you should listen to those babies that are still coming forward. We all talk about the heartbeat bill, and that gets mixed up. That was before Roe versus Wade, when that was sitting right in the middle of everything. We couldn't get past it. Where Norma McCorvey lied about her situation, and she never had an abortion, by the way. When we were talking about that, that's when my research began. If we can actually take the heartbeat into a court of law, which they had in other states, and you could hear the heart valves, that became the First Amendment of that child, and they deemed that child alive. Now in science and technology today, I'm sure we can hear a cell divide now. If I can take that concept and move it all the way to the beginning of when an egg and a sperm actually start dividing into cells, and we can hear it, that will constitute the First Amendment right of that child. And that's what I'm looking at. Because if they can say there's life on Mars looking at a piece of slime, then I think we could start saving our population and humankind. Thank you.